Alright, so this is the team I'm using for the Nightmare Attack on Titan boss rush mode. I'm just using a Yuhaba, I think that's how you pronounce it, just hyper carry. I'm going to do, of course, him, and then John, Ichigo, and Luffy, just as 3 rare units to buff up his ability, right? And then I'm going to have Blossom just to constantly cleanse his debuffs to his range later on, and of course 1 farm unit, which being Takeroto. So main plan is we're probably going to place back here, probably right here, because I was having some leak issues last time, and I'm actually changing this setup a little bit, but we're going to just probably place right here. So we're just going to start and wait, and since we're placing units so far back, we're just going to focus on our farm unit for the time being. Again, we place the farm unit down as soon as we can, and we're just going to upgrade it till max, and then we'll start placing everything back here again. Alright, our farm's max, so we're just gonna focus on placing main DPS now. And again, I'm gonna do it a little farther back this time. I had him placed here last time, but I kind of got leaks later on and it just made it harder. So the reason I'm placing so far back here is because on wave 30, the rumbling actually happens and Colossal Titans will spawn from this side over there on the right and then on the left here as well and down the middle, but so we have 3 UFOs down, and we're just going to place the rare units around him, but try to make some room on one of the sides just to make sure Sakura can reach him and cleanse him. Now everything's placed down, and then now we're just going to upgrade our UFOs. I know this method is kind of weird right now because Zeke right here has 4.29 billion HP, so I don't know if this is even killable, and this is solo, by the way, so I'm sure if you kill him, the rumbling stops. That's what I'm guessing, but I don't know a way to kill him, and I noticed there's like a big multiplier down here. I don't know what it is, but again, this is the method I'm just using now. I cleared once, and I had to tweak a little bit, but hopefully this clear will be, you know, decent as well. But we upgraded 1 UFO to max, so we're just going to use his ability 4 times to rack up his range. Now we got him good, and now we're just going to focus on the rest of the 2. This will probably take over 20 minutes for this nightmare mode, especially with this setup, so it's probably not even worth doing. You might as well just do the regular mode, but I thought I'd try to get something out at least when the update is kind of fresh, so, you know, in case you need help, hopefully this method will work. Again, this whole boss rush is basically free up until wave 30 when it just gets really chaotic and everything has a bunch of HP. Also, you could use a bleed unit. I was using Alucard, but I did swap him in for Luffy because his range like instantly drops because of the debuffs, and it kind of just makes it harder to bleed the enemies. And even if Yuaba gets debuffed, his range only goes down to around like 50, which is still manageable, but you definitely want to keep cleansing because, you know, you get double the range back. Also, if I was smart, I probably would have placed my farm unit here, but I don't know how much of a difference that's actually going to make. But, you know, I would probably place your farm unit next to Yuaba just for a little bit of an extra buff, I believe. So now we're basically done. We're just going to rack up money, and then when wave 30 hits or we realize that our units are getting debuffed, we're just going to probably sell a Sakura, and then we're going to replace, instantly upgrade to upgrade 3, use medical chakra, and then resell and do the same process over again until we're hopefully done the match. So here our range decreased a bit, so we're just going to upgrade and then boom, cleanse, and we're back up to 99 range. And I recommend taking off name tags or health bars because it's going to make the game run a little bit better. But the Colossal Titans that spawn in a little bit, probably, I think they have around 1.4 mil HP, and Aaron himself is going to have 20 mil HP. But I'll turn the name tags back on in a sec to show you guys. So there he spawned, and as you can see, Titans are spawning. Let me just turn this back on real quick. Yeah, they're going to have 1.46 million HP and be constantly regenerating, so just be wary of that. And now it's just basically make sure your main DPSs are fully cleansed and don't have any debuffs on them, so that Yuaba is hitting as far as possible. I don't know what this multiplier currency does on the bottom. I know it's the tokens you get afterwards, but I don't know if it has something to do during the match. Maybe it's the amount of damage you do to Zeke. I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point. And again, if you are struggling, I recommend putting in a bleed unit for one of these rare units and just placing them down and, you know, upgrading them a decent amount. You could also put somebody like Lancer to completely stop regeneration, which probably is the best bet here. Looks like we're doing good right now. And the good thing about having so much money is you don't really have to, you can kind of just keep spamming Sakura. Just make sure you're not getting too low and you're not accidentally upgrading to higher upgrade tiers than you need to, just to save as much money as possible. And of course you can move even further back with your units if you want to, but this spot seems to be doing pretty good right now. As you can see, we kill Aaron way quicker than the rest of the Colossal Titans, so it's just a matter of waiting until they get in range and then finally killing them. They don't regenerate for too much. It is around, it's like 29k. It is kind of a lot, but it's just enough, at least with this setup, where I do not need to bring a bleed unit, as long as I'm cleansing my units a decent amount of the time. I do have Z+ on all of Yuhaba's stats, so that is something to keep in the back of your mind. And I deeply apologize if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I made sure to look it up before this video, but you know, I'm not gonna get it perfect every time. I used to call him like Walk or something. I don't know what I used to call him, but like, you know, name looks cool. Trying to pronounce it is a different story. We got 4 Titans left, all right here. We should be done in the next 15 seconds. And there we go. So, don't know how, like, this method probably takes way longer than the intended route. I don't really know the intended route. Again, you're probably supposed to kill Zeke or something. I don't know how you're going to do that, especially in solo. So, you know, this, I'll just consider this a brute force method. If you happen to have Yuhaba, you know, you don't really need anybody else. Just 3 rare units, a cleanse unit, preferably Sakura. Again, you can get on Banner, who is an epic, and Takarota, again, on Banner, who is a legendary. Hopefully this helps. Please let me know what you think about this update again, and peace out.